Oh no.
Oh
Shit.
boy.
Got a booty clap into the mic so that we know where to cut.
Yeah, you know where to cut.
And cut. And we are live.
Summer.
Nice try.
That went well then.
Recording right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This summer, 5 friends gathered head to head to tell the stories of their stories in the most dramatic way possible. Watch as their story unfolds. Featuring Johnny, the rambunctious doggo. Astral, the one mistaken as a girl by everyone. Anthor, protective wolf affectionate towards the girl. Quote unquote. Foxy, the one calling the shots. And JG, codename The Watcher. What was I supposed to say after that? This is the AnthroMythics podcast, episode 3.
Welcome.
Welcome,
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, listeners.
Hey there.
Hi. Nice. Good job, John. Nice.
Oh,
Nice going.
thanks. I gave my heart out.
Hey, though. Passion. It was
You
all
did your
about
best.
passion.
I'm proud of you.
Alright. So today's what was today's theme again?
We're gonna talk
Characters.
about our OCs.
Oh yay. There we go.
Yeah.
Do not steal.
Yeah,
Copyright.
I figured people would at least want to know a little bit more about our characters, the persona that personalize ourselves. You know.
Yeah. So the 5 of us, AnthroMythics, we all have furry OCs. That's just kind of our deal. That's why we are friends. That's how we met on Deviantart. Was we have OCs and we have stories of those OCs that we all, I'm sure, would like to tell. So today, I picked a few topics to kind of break the ice about our OCs of choice, and it'd just be a fun thing to talk about today. So that's what we're going to do.
Yay.
Oh yeah.
Alright, let's
So-
get started.
Yeah. So have we all picked our characters for today?
Yeet.
I hope we have.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go with my persona. Yeah.
Okay.
Astral.
So
Yeah.
I can go first if you want, you guys.
Oh, please do.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Give it.
Alright. What is Johnny's backstory and what events shaped him?
So I picked Johnny. Johnny is the character you will see probably most if you go to my DeviantArt. He's my persona. He also stars in a lot of my tales. I'm not so much a writer of literature as I am just of stories in general. And I tell these stories through just my own images and descriptions. I'm also planning on making a game kind of telling a story about Johnny and friends. But anyway, without further ado, on to the question. What's Johnny's backstory? What led up to his present day, like the Johnny you know now? What events shaped him? So, briefly about my world that my OCs live in. It's called Laios. And Laios it's mainly separated into 3 sectors or nations or factions, whatever you want to call them, that are defined mostly by the species that inhabit these sectors. So, for example, up north is where you'll find most of mammals and their society. Then kind of in the center is where the reptilians live, and then you go south, and that's where you'll find most of the avian, like the bird people. So Johnny, a doggo, a mammal, for as long as he can remember, has lived in avian country of all places. So from the get-go, he already feels like an alien and an outcast. And he doesn't...
He's a Skillian, by the way.
Yeah, he is what's called a Skillian, which is a species I made up that's just kind of like, it's a dog-like race. I just call them dogs now. Because that's basically what they are.
Doggos.
Doggos.
There's room for improvement. Yeah.
I thought it was pronounced Skylin, by the way,
Skylian?
That's what I
I
thought
don't-
it has
too.
a
Because
Y.
yeah,
Right. Yeah, I don't know why I started pronouncing it Gillian. I don't know why I chose that, but it just kind of stuck for me. It's, it's whatever,
Well,
tomato.
yeah. Same
Mario,
with
Mario.
Lios. I always thought it was like Leos.
Leos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Call it whatever. So Johnny doesn't really remember his parents at all. He can't even remember their faces. In his head, he imagines them being a couple of stoners and losers for birthing him and just plopping him off at an orphanage in avian country. Because it's like, that's kind of what you do in Laos when you're a poor bum and you can't really hang with the rich snob mammal folk. Because the mammals are like the elitist assholes of Laos, basically. So if you're a bum and you can't really pay your rent in mammal land, by the way, I haven't really come up with names for their countries, truth be told. So I'm calling it mammal land now.
Mammal.
Mammal.
Mammal land. So if you're a loser,
the guy.
you have to pack
Nice.
your bags and move to avian land, where
Yeah.
that's where you live in the slums. And that's where you
The
become
birds
a
of the
pirate
same
and a
feather.
gangsta and all
Yeah.
that fun stuff.
I guess you can say birds of the same feather flocks together then. But guess if you don't fit in mammal land, you need to go back to avian land. So I guess birds of the same feather just flock together then.
Yeah, it's overcrowded and dirty and gross in avian land, but it's all Johnny's ever really known.
Oh god.
So his
That was
childhood
horrible.
was kind of garbage. Like the kids were mean to him because he was a doggo, and they were not. They were bird people. So he never really had friends. And then, but as like throughout his teen years and into his young adulthood, he would always hear tales about the infamous Captain Ricardo. Is like just a hard ass badass, just the coolest mofo you can be in avian land. And he was like a pirate captain, and to Johnny he was like a rock star. Like Johnny wanted to be like a hard ass captain to make up for his lame childhood. Like he wanted to be a pirate. So what he would do is when he wasn't doing just odd jobs like sweeping and mopping and shit, he would go around the shipyards and he would see if he could get a glimpse of Captain Ricardo, and maybe if he was lucky he would see him doing pirate stuff. So he kind of did that, and Sora, Ricardo's kind of girlfriend, just kind of like friend,
Yeah.
who like they have sex but they're just friends.
Friends
So
with
Sora,
benefits.
friends with benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sora caught on like that Johnny was being a little spy, and she thought that was adorable. And Ricardo just thought it was annoying, but Sora thought that was adorable. So she kind of offered Johnny to be like the cabin boy. So he's kind of, instead of doing just shitty like mopping the floor jobs, now he's going to be swabbing the decks for the coolest motherfucker in the land. So
Ooh.
that is a step up for Johnny. So he's like he's the little cabin boy. Yeah. So back to the question, because I've been rambling for a while.
Who's
Shit,
next?
where's the question? Okay.
Oh yeah, I got you.
So that's what shaped him. Is he went from rags to
Pirate.
not riches, but he went from rags to cooler rags.
Yeah.
All right.
Question 2. Who are Johnny's friends? How does he relate to them? And describe the chemistry between Johnny and each individual friend.
Okay, so Johnny is like 3. Actually, no, Johnny has 4 friends. So Ricardo and Johnny have a weird kind of relationship because most of the time Ricardo doesn't want anything to do with Johnny. But Johnny just worships Ricardo, like just wants to, like get down on his knees and, suck his toes. No, he doesn't actually want to do that. But so Johnny idolizes Ricardo, and occasionally Ricardo, he'll think, okay, whatever. Johnny, he's trying his hardest to be cool. I'll be nice to him today, or I'll help him with his mission, or say like Johnny got his dumb paws stuck in a trap in some dungeon. Ricardo's like, okay, fine, I'll help the kid, whatever. So that's that dynamic. Ricardo most of the time is like too cool for Johnny, but over time he's kind of warmed up to him. Like I said, Sora thinks Johnny spying on them and being obsessive over them was cute, so she's really nice to him, and she does whatever she can to help Johnny become more of a pirate.
Oh, quick question. I know it's kind of off the questions we were giving you, but I just wanted to know, is Sora more of like a mother figure to him?
Yeah, I'd say so.
That's cool.
She's got the biggest heart in Avian country. Yeah. And then there's Alex, who is an interesting character, because Alex was just kind of like one of the bums who just kind of hangs around Avian country because there's nowhere else that really accepts her. And even there, nobody really accepts her because she's like a shark, and she's just like, people are just like, oh, get back in the ocean, you creep. Weirdo. So she doesn't really like anybody, but one day Johnny was skipping rocks on the ocean, and just to kind of clear his head, and Alex is like, oh, who's this doggo?
This delicious looking doggo.
This delicious looking doggo. I'm gonna check him out for whatever reason. And she pokes her head out, and then one of the rocks that Johnny was skipping like bonks her square in the snout. And sharks' noses are like sensitive. Like, I hear that you can punch them in real life, and they'll back off and stop trying to eat you for a little bit. I don't know if that's a fact, but that's something I heard about.
I would never want to try that, but okay.
Yeah, I would
just to know, I guess.
So, that was an awkward meeting for those two, and Alex was pretty pissed that Johnny did that. So Johnny ran away. He was just too scared because he pissed off a shark, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm screwed now. I have to get out of here. But then Johnny would try other beaches just to hang out. And Alex decided that she would pick on this dog more, just out of kind of revenge. Not really like murderous revenge or anything, but just kind of like she wants to get up on his face and be like, hey, asshole, you threw a rock in my snout. So she'd follow Johnny around, and eventually she's like, okay, well, he's just a sad little pupper, and I shouldn't be so mean to him. And eventually, through more awkward meetings, Johnny and Alex became buddies, and then more than buddies. So now they're kind of like boyfriend and girlfriend now at this point.
Ooh, nice.
And Johnny and Alex both serve as members of Captain Ricardo's crew, but they're the only non-avians on the crew. And they're just kind of... they're sent on just low-level jobs, like it could be anything from swabbing the deck, which, by the way, Alex refuses to do. Like, she always shirks that responsibility while Johnny just swabs the deck. Or they'll go on, like, scouting missions. Just scouting missions. They won't go looting. They won't attack rival pirates or anything. They're not supposed to. But more often than not, Alex and Johnny will get into combat situations because Alex wants to prove to Ricardo that both of them, non-avians, can kick some ass. So that's kind of their deal now. So those are... Oh, and then one more friend. Zurich, the cow, is actually one of Johnny's friends who he meets kind of on a rare occasion. But Zurich hangs out around the Sand Kingdom, a.k.a. Avian Country, a lot. Just kind of going around killing monsters because she doesn't have much else to do. So when Johnny and Zurich meet, they'll go on little cute/badass adventures together.
Yay.
Yay! So those are the friends. Those are the friends.
All right.
Johnny's strengths. he's a tryhard. Like, he may be a wimp, which is one of his weaknesses. Like, he's physically weak. But, damn it, he will try his best to learn and grow as a person. And even though Ricardo doesn't always see it that way, Johnny wants so badly to prove to Ricardo that he could maybe one day even be the new captain of the frickin' crew. If it comes down to it. Johnny's so determined.
Yeah.
That's his strength. His weaknesses, almost everything else under the sun is his weakness, including the sun. He sunburns easily.
Does he turn like kind of like reddish, pinkish occasionally? Like
Yeah, like if you'll notice in the many nude pics of Johnny that I draw,
gets those
his
tiny little
his
blotches.
buns are toasty a little bit. Oh shit! Sorry, my phone's vibrating. I mean, my vibrator's vibrating.
I was gonna correct you there for a second.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got noodle arms. He's just a little pupper. I mean, you know, he's not one of the stronger species, but he will try to find any strength in himself. And yeah, I guess that's it for strengths and weaknesses. Like, if you want to get into specifics, like if you ask a specific weakness, I'm sure it is a weakness. What is Johnny's goal in life? Well, Johnny didn't really have friends when he was a kid. Now that he has this group of friends who he truly believes are his friends, he will do everything in his power not to screw it up. So if he gets into a disagreement, like if he gets into an argument or a fight with one of his friends, he will be the one to try and hug and make up.
Make up.
And make out.
Like legit,
that,
just
Jay?
make out.
Maybe make out. Probably make out. Yeah, that's his goal. Is he wants to be the best damn friend he can be.
So
so those are the questions.
Yay for Johnny.
That's Johnny for you. If you want to know more about Johnny and my, check out chillskillian.deviantart.com.
Actually, they changed the URLs.
Oh, they changed the URL. That's right.
Yeah.
They did some.
But it still redirects. So that.
Okay.
Well.
You can still do that, and then we'll have links in the description of
Yeah. All right.
when these actually go up.
All right. Let's give it up for Johnny.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm one of those anonymous groups.
Oh yeah, OC's anonymous.
It's anonymous. Oh jeez. All right. Who would like to volunteer as tribute?
Foxy.
Are you sure?
Foxy?
Are you sure?
I like to go Foxy, yeah.
Foxy,
yeah,
are you caffeinated enough for this? Because you got 3 hours of sleep.
Nope, I am not, but I am willing to do this.
All right.
For the viewers watching, I have only 3 hours of sleep, so we got this.
Just use the stress to kind of like wake you up.
All right.
Yeah, use the pressure to force you. Yeah.
The adrenaline, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Rushing you. Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
Let's move on. I would choose my persona, which would not exactly, it's not exactly my persona per se, because my persona would be a fox, but technically he would be my persona because he's connected more to me, so I choose Skylar.
Skylar!
Yay. Alright, so let's see. Question number 1. What is Skylar's backstory? What led up to the present day Skylar, and what events shaped them? So, as far as I know, or as far as what I've made him into, Skylar is basically somewhat of a copy of my personalities, a mix of my personalities and stuff, so I just made him
as is Johnny for me.
Yeah, I made him out of the blue technically one day, and I was just like, I want somebody to represent me. And back early in the days when I was all passionate about, starting out as a rookie artist and stuff, I didn't really think much about him. I didn't really think of him much of a character. I just thought, oh, he's somebody that, I would just want to draw and then maybe say a little something about him. But apparently he became bigger to me as I went on, and he led to becoming my persona. So his backstory, we can start there at least. He's part of several universes or alt verses, I would like to say. Two of which are like the biggest keys to his life in a way. Um, oh jeez, I'm kind of nervous. Basically, his first story, the main story, starts in 2050, which is World War III, and he becomes recruited as captain by orders of his father, who was a previous veteran from a previous war. And a whole bunch of stuff happened. A mix-up goes on, and eventually he ends up being thrown to war as captain. But he ends up making friends along the way who teach him to be a better person, and he learns just how bad war can be. Like those Fallout references, war never changes. So his backstory, more into his backstory, he in that universe he just basically becomes a captain and leads a whole squad that eventually becomes his friends. But yeah, that's his first universe. In the second universe, which is a small story I'm writing with John here.
Yeah, you are.
Yeet. So in the second universe, I don't want to get too much into detail because it might ruin the story, but he becomes part of a group known as the Gridarian Bandits, which is basically a group that likes to steal stuff and make money off of it in the black market. It's a whole
Who doesn't?
organization. Yeah, it's a whole underground organization. He doesn't really do it by like choice. Rather, he was forced to do it after his parents passed away, and his brother kind of like doesn't really keep much of an eye on him, so he just does whatever he wants. And he started out stealing because he felt the need to make up for something, although it's kind of a weird story, or like a mix up for him, because he wanted to discover who he really was. And so he thought stealing would be sort of this outlet that he can have, that, oh, if I steal something I'll feel better. But eventually, he realizes it's not the thing he wants to do, and he gets into this whole business with the Gridarian Bandits, and he kind of makes a deal with them. And so after a while he's like, is this really what I want to do? But it's like sort of under contract, so he can't exactly leave. He could, but it could probably lead to death, because he's sort of like on a watch list. Yeah. But he gets paid pretty well out of doing it, so that's why he kind of lives by himself. His brother goes off to outposts around the world because his brother is in the military, which is like, it's kind of like why I like to make an altverse, because in the altverse it's kind of like the war never happened. So instead of like his brother going to war and going missing and stuff, his brother's just going around outposts around the world, making sure world peace is kept safe. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Oh.
but he's never really around at home. So Skylar just basically does what he wants, and he lives by himself with some of his friends. They kind of dorm up, they kind of shack up like Ivy. Ivy's just there to keep company and do a bit of her part so that she can live with them, And yeah, basically the thing that led up to Skylar being who he is present day is tragedy, mostly in the alt verse, and in the normal verse because his brother goes missing. But he also wants to find this vengeance in a way. So it's kind of like more vengeance in the first one, and then in the alt verse it's more of tragedy that leads up to what he is present day. And yeah, that's question number one.
Yeah, that's cool. The difference is the war not happening.
Yeah.
Megs, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
you kind of made it feel like you can use like a machine or a trinket or something.
Yeah.
Just change between different timelines.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
most important, before I forget, because I really want to mention, most of the reasons why war happened and why his parents were taken away in the Altverse was because of Corinthium, which is like it's like an incredibly rare element that was supposedly, it supposedly fell from space and landed in the middle of one of the oceans, and people happened to discover it and realize that it's a huge source of energy that they can harness. So it ends up becoming like this thing where if you can mine it, you can make hundreds of thousands of like currency in that universe.
Funny how space rocks can change the world.
Yeah. So it's a very prominent thing in the story, and it actually shaped basically his life. In terms of it being sort of a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, it's like a wonderful little curse. So yeah, that's one of the important things that leads up to what he is present day. Yeah. Okay. So question number 2: who are Skylar's friends? How does he relate to them? And how are the chemistry between him and his friends? Well, he has various friends. I won't get too much into detail either with them because they have their whole backstory as well, and I'll try to control it like Johnny did because I like to get passionate about their backstories as well. Yeah, but let's start from the most important. How about that? Ivy is a very important character tied with him. She is they're really good friends, I would put it. In the early stages of writing their backstories, I really wanted them to be like, you know, him and Ivy were like a very more than just friends. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
But eventually led up to me wanting to have it more of a normal relationship between them, so I made it more platonic. But
okay,
they have, in a way, they do have feelings for each other, just not as much as you'd think. Yeah, so she basically just keeps company around in the second universe, in the altverse. She just lives with him and Drake, who kind of like loafs around, but he does his part of the job too, so he can pay the rent and stuff. Yeah, but she just usually sticks around and cooks them food sometimes. Likes to go around and do favors for others, kind of like side quests, you can put it. Yeah. Yeah, she's very important to him, and he would do anything for her. Most of the times they would, do stuff together and realize that they realize along the way why they became friends, because they've known each other since kids. And it's like, when you've known that person very well for so long, you eventually gain this level of like feelings for them, but then you want to be just friends. So yeah, that's the kind of like their shindig together. Next person I would probably put is Drake. He is a doggo, very much like Johnny's doggo. He's a golden retriever. I should probably name like their breeds as well, just to put it. Ivy's a wallaby, so she's like a kangaroo. But Drake is a golden retriever mixed with other things. He basically just does like in the old verse, he just loafs around, and he has his job he holds up so he can pay the rent, like I said earlier. But he also keeps Ivy company when Skylar's away, because Skylar's usually like off stealing stuff for the Gridarians. But Drake likes he just likes to do work and stick around, and sometimes join in to steal with Skylar as well. But he's not that big a character, to be honest, but I do like to mention him often because he's in my opinion, he's a very under-discussed character, and I feel like I should do more behind his story. But yeah, basically,
yeah, like I don't remember a golden retriever in your gallery even.
I could show you later.
Okay, yeah.
From the hipsters picture, the one on the left, if you remember that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's him. He likes to be hipster and all. Yeah, so he's, by culture-wise, he's like Native American, which is why you kind of see the marks on his face. But he was sort of shunned from his family for several reasons, and that's why he kind of moved out and moved in with his best friends. So yeah, that's kind of his backstory. Let's see, I could probably do one more character because I had too many. I'll go with Adrian, who's also a doggo, but he's a husky doggo.
Oh, a wolf doggo.
Wolfy doggo. So Adrian is, I wouldn't really put a label on him culture-wise because they're not really the same as our cultures. But Adrian is, in a way, you can say he's kind of this Russian. He kind of, well, here's the thing. In the Altverse, he owns this club. And he moved to basically the sector or the area where Skylar and all his friends live. He was not originally from there, but he moved there, and he actually took a liking to like techno music. So he
What kind
ended
of
up getting his own club.
what kind of club though?
Ooh, like you know those dance clubs with like the house music
Yeah.
playing, and like he's kind of like the DJ. Yeah, yeah. There
Just
you
the
go.
club.
Yep, like that kind of club.
Okay.
So he likes to he opened a club and he likes to DJ every once in a while because that's kind of like what he's passionate about. The only reason he was able to afford getting a club was because he's also part of the Gridarian Bandits. So they pay him handsomely for his services because of how experienced he is. In the original timeline, not the Altverse, but the original timeline, he's sort of a war reaper because of his tragic past as well. So he basically wields the scythe. Same thing in the Altverse, but he likes to use guns more. So he's kind of like this hitman in a way. Not a hitman, but like he supplies you with guns. So he's like more of a gun runner. But at the same time, he likes to host at clubs and give good music to the people. Yeah.
Does he have a launch pad?
Oh yes.
Oh,
He's very, very skilled at a launch pad.
Alright.
oh my god.
Yes. And then, well, in connection to like Skylar and Adrian, Adrian was sort of an old pal to Skylar. They've met through the Gridarian Bandits, and that's where Skylar also met Vincent, and Vincent is like almost like brothers to like Adrian. Oh, they're almost like you can say they're such good friends that they would be considered brothers. So they're very like close knit like friends, and they like to always hang out together and do jobs together. So yeah, Adrian's just Skylar met Adrian through a job at one of the Gridarian missions, and then they ended up becoming friends and exchanging numbers, and they often do missions together, and that's how they kind of share together money and be able to make money off of what they steal, and that's how they hold up.
Yeah.
I think that'll do it for friends, because I have like 3 others that I should mention, but I don't want to go over
Bunch
time.
of furry hustlers.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
Strengths and weaknesses of Skylar.
okay, I have a little list here that I did for... Remember, Ellie, when we did that tagged thing for the journals?
Which one was it again?
Where you basically tagged me and then you asked me questions about my my persona.
Ah, yeah.
I have
I
it
did.
pulled up right now because I'm reading stuff about it.
That was so long ago.
Yeah, I know, but it's very helpful now because I'd be able to read it all. But
I know, right?
yeah, I'm happy I have it stashed away somewhere. His strengths and weaknesses. I guess it depends on the world. The normal world, the original timeline, his strength would be he's kind of a socialite. He really likes to talk to people, although he can be shy at times because people can be assholes, you know. But yeah, he usually likes to leave a good impression on people. It's kind of his, you know, he goes by the saying, treat others as you would yourself. So it's kind of like, and it's important to him that he, you know, gives off a good impression to others before he starts acting like assholes to them, because, you know, if you want to meet people and live, because he in the normal world, he's kind of like, you know, war, and you have to cooperate with people even though they can be mean. You know, if you want to survive, you want to live and have connections with people who can back you up in war, he's kind of like that person who's like, okay, just be nice to everyone. That's kind of his strength. But his weakness, I wouldn't call him exactly like a straight up hero at times, but like he would do anything for friends to like keep them safe, because it's kind of like his backstory basically goes off tragedies, and if you want like somebody who saves people, you know, instead of seeing them be taken away from you, he's kind of that person where if he sees somebody in danger, he will do everything to keep them safe. And so I wouldn't put that as a weakness or a strength, but in terms of weakness, you know, he kind of
it depends on the situation.
Yeah, he lives by the dangerous kind of edge of the life, and it kind of at times, you know, it may cost him something. You know, I wouldn't say a limb, because he needs all his limbs to survive. But yeah, it usually ends up with him getting hurt somehow. But
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's some of his weakness. In the Altverse, his strength would be basically stealing. He's a very good stealer, I can tell you that. He started ever since he was little, ever since his parents were taken from him, and he kind of made it his life. You know, his life revolves around stealing. That's kind of his strength. He steals basically anything from Corinthium to high-end weapon attachments and parts.
So he's
and
been
stuff.
going up that thievery skill tree since he was a kid.
Yeah, basically ever since he was, I believe, 10, as far as I made his backstory. So he's been kind of in the stealing business for almost a decade. But yeah, that's kind of his strength. And his weakness, oof. I think in the Altverse, his weakness would be trying to comprehend everything that happens, because, you know, it's kind of like the mix. So it's kind of the combination of worlds, you know, the switcheroo of people, of characters and stuff. So it's like you see this one person who comes from a world that you're not aware of, and this person who's a breed that you have never seen before, because apparently dragons don't exist in the Altverse.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, if his weakness would be trying to like get a hold of the situation at times, because
his
he's a
his
very
brain
confused.
freaks out.
Yeah,
when
I
he
know.
sees
He
dragons.
freaks out. He's not as much of a hero in the Altverse as he is in the first verse, mainly because
Gotcha.
he suffers from all those tragedies and stuff. But
Gotcha.
yeah. So that's question number 3. And question number 4. What is Skylar's goal in life? There it goes
Oh,
again.
shit.
Sorry.
There you go.
His goal in life would be, I guess, to make ends meet. He just wants to live, survive, wants to be able to make himself happy and make his friends happy, because he's kind of that happy squirt that likes to just make everything positive and work out and stuff. So yeah, I guess his main goal in life would just be to make ends meet. That's probably all I can say. Yeah.
That's kind of like me.
Yeah.
All right, give it up for Foximity, people.
Yay!
So, so Grandy earlier, said
Yeah?
58 minutes. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm okay if we go kind of late on this, if we need extra time to explain
Mhm.
ourselves.
All right.
Sure.
I don't have anywhere to be.
Who's
Uh,
next?
Me? Or do you want to go first, JG?
No, I can wait. Actually, I still need to organize a few things.
He's got to get his
Alright.
facts together.
Well,
Like
actually,
Grandy does.
I had something written about one of my characters, which is the one I'm going to talk about. I just need to find the file again. So,
Oh, okay.
I'm a bit nervous, I guess. So
Oh, don't
bear
be,
with me.
Grandy. It's
No.
okay. We're your
Take
friends,
time.
Grandy.
Yeah, take your time.
Take your time. I'm gonna take the whole year then. So okay, what is I'm gonna pick Astral, my persona himself, the white links that
The
everyone be
white
seeing around.
links. Everybody knows and loves.
Pretty iconic at this point, you know, his ears, you know. But
Yeah.
anyway, what is Astral's backstory? What led up to the present day, and what event shaped him? So his backstory, this is pretty complicated. So he basically was born a prince in a kingdom like in my world there's like several kingdoms, and every single kingdoms have their own elements. So like
Okay.
darkness, light, water, fire, nature, and all those stuff. So basically, Astral was born a prince in the Dark Kingdom, the one responsible for dark element.
Ooh.
So stuff. So any creature regarding the dark element is around there. So like undead and such, you know.
He is the Prince of Darkness. Sorry, my
Yeah.
phone.
Your vibrator.
In a sense, yeah. His family is responsible for keeping the undead corruption at bay. So yeah. And
Sorry.
he was he was basically born a prince, but later he was just enjoying normal stuff like having a butler bathe him every single day,
Mm.
feeding him this fancy high class royal dinner and such, and but still doing all those royal training, studying and such. Like even if he have all those luxury, he doesn't feel happy because
Mm.
all of the restriction he have, because he's a little kid. He can't go outside the castle or play around. Always have a packed schedule, just
Yeah, it sounds like
studying.
a boring life for a little kid.
Yeah, but later on, I guess some incident happened. It's really complicated, and accident happened, like incident, and he basically lost control of himself. He's like a special child since birth. There's already like this weird occurrence happening during the day of his birth. He was born at night too, so like it kind of like helps the supernatural thing happen too. So
Okay.
like he basically like got lost control or something, and his family basically abandoned him. Like not abandoned as in like hate kind of way, or more like being forced to do it, or else Ezra might accidentally kill his own family, and he will feel more devastated if that happened. So
Oh.
so after he was abandoned, he wandered around some places, and the deaf himself. So he kind of lost the will to live already. So it kind of like eligible for death to take his soul,
Damn.
but for some reason the Reaper himself doesn't want to take his soul. So instead, the Reaper adopted him as his first ever son.
Okay.
So yeah, he basically, but before that he basically made a contract with the Reaper himself. In exchange for being able to control himself, he exchanged all of his memory. So he doesn't know anything about his family and such, to the point before the point he made the contract.
Okay.
So yeah, so he got control of himself. Actually, not really like as in the got control, more like suppressed. So several years later, living with the Reaper in the land of death himself itself, maybe kind of like a netherworld, I guess, where all the souls and zombie and such live. Living there with the Reaper, and being at this point he became the Reaper's apprentice. So like he helped death reaps people's soul, or at least during his time living in the land of the dead, the netherworld. um he just, what was it called, look after the souls that floats around the places, and being under the Reaper care himself to like hone his skill in becoming the best Reaper, the same as his stepfather, you know.
So he was like a
And
Reaper sensei.
represents it, yeah. So yeah, he have his own side, like a deaf side, and then being able to control dark magic. And he didn't remember his childhood, his memory, because of the contract, but he still knows any like magical stuff that he learns when he was still in the castle. So like he used to be a prodigy in magical, in lightning element. So he's really good with lightning before all this incident happened. So he kind of like uh took over, like carry forward. So he knows dark magic and lightning at the same time, but he doesn't use it as much
Does he ever use them to
because
play
he's
jokes
still
on people?
play jokes play jokes on some
Like
zombies
a
and such,
prank?
like like just cutting the zombie's head or something, and like making him look for its head. I don't know.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, like basically he made some friends in the netherworld too. So like he have a banshee as a friend, and this walking skeleton that carries a candle around to light the place, because the netherworld itself is like a super dark place.
Right.
No, there's no amount of the outside world, the light source from the outside world can't really illuminate the place. Only a special kind of magic, maybe like holy light, can illuminate yourself, or maybe the light from the place itself. So the skeleton kind of like illuminates the place, but not so much as to lessen the grim atmosphere in the place. So that was several years after he asked Dev himself to, because he was getting much more older, maybe like 18 years old, and he got to the point where he's curious of the outside world.
Mm.
So after being a good apprentice and such, following instruction, and I guess after some persuasion and begging, I guess, the Reaper allowed him to go outside. The condition that he needs to he got a list of people that needs to be killed, basically, like
Uh-huh.
take it easy. So maybe like one of those kind of people that always escape death, you know. So like so
Oh.
like
Yeah, cheat death.
they yeah, cheat death, yeah, they'll never suspect a living person to actually be a death messenger, you know. So he,
Mm.
yeah, on under one condition, he gotta finish the list. So yeah, he, after that turn of event, he finally being able to go outside and go on his own adventure. And Death doesn't know it, but the another reason for him wanting to go outside is because whenever he sleeps at night, he gets a weird dream of the time when he was in the castle. But when he woke up, he doesn't remember actually being in a castle or anything of the kind, because he lost his memory.
Amnesia.
Yeah, so that kind of makes him that curious. So he kind of want to recover his memory too, or maybe find hints of what it's supposed to mean.
Ah,
Why does he keep remembering all these places and people, but doesn't know every single one of them?
I
So
always love
yeah,
amnesia stories.
yeah.
They're so interesting.
Who am I? What am I doing here? Who are
what am
you?
I doing?
It's
It
like
opens up.
we the watchers, the readers, whatever, are right there with the character. Like, where, who is this character? Where did he come
Who
from?
is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah, and then yeah, that's basically it for number one. Uh, Up to number two, he's gonna meet his friends. That's where the adventure begin, I guess. So number two, who are Astra's friends? How does he relate to them? Describe the chemistry between Astra and each individual friend list. Okay, so there's about 7 people here. Bear with me. I'm gonna make it as short as possible.
7 friends, people.
7 friends, seven party member. Just to
Grab
say,
yourself a snack, a drink.
Grab a
That
popcorn,
yeah.
have a
sit
park.
back, relax, get your soft drinks, get an icy. It's hot out there today. Just enjoy.
It's not really hot. It's not really hot here, so yeah.
Okay.
I would feel bad, but I still gotta say, like, sucks to be you guys. Sorry.
Mm.
Well, I mean, if something happens to you, we'd probably say the same. Sucks to be you.
Yeah. So okay, the first friends is called Nathan Grave. See, it kind of like the name itself kind of like sounds punkish in a way. Nathan Grave.
Nathan Grave.
Imagine an actual tombstone with that name. Here lies Nathan Grave. Yeah, but yeah, the first one is called Nathan Grave. Just goes with Nathan. He's my, if anyone that's listening actually followed my accounts on Deviantart, they'll know that Nathan is the blue bunny. Uh,
Mm.
so he's basically the first ever member to join Astral's party, and he's a bounty hunter, and he's a really cool person, like personality wise. He doesn't like care about people, or like love to do sarcastic stuff, or along those lines, but at the same time he still cares about them, because that's the reason for the caring part of it. He has this like motherly personality, I guess, like a secret personality. Yeah, but anyway, he basically joined Astral because he doesn't have anything else to do. He's a bounty hunter too, so like being able to take on different bounty from different places might reap him some more reward, and at the same time he have his own agenda to avenge his lost family, you know, because there's a story behind it where his family died and such, so he kind of became a bounty hunter to hone his shooting skill, because he uses a gun anyway, bounty hunter. Okay, Boom. He has his own agenda to avenge his lost family, his dead parent and such, becoming a bounty hunter to hone his skill and such, and at the same time make a living out of it. Yeah,
That sounds
so
cool.
that's Nate. Yes, that's Nathan.
All right.
So the next one is Cyrus. I kind of say every single one of them in order of when they join the team. So yeah. So the next team member is
Ooh, I have a
Cyrus
thing for
Melody.
Cyrus. Just saying, he's
Yeah.
adorable and
Cyrus,
awesome at the same time.
He's
so
the
Cy-
the screwed up Doctor Fox, right?
yeah,
I
basically
love him so much.
Nathan's the
He's so
brother.
adorable and he creeps me out at the same time. It's great.
So the second one is named Cyrus Melody. If anyone knows him, he's like a 10-year-old or maybe younger. I need to make an actual age for him, but he basically a child. Yeah, Fox doctor. Yeah, he, he dreamed to become a doctor, but stuff happens. So he basically a cursed child and was kind of saved by Astral when he tried to reap his soul. Kind of like he lives in an abandoned hospital, and Astral and Nathan, being the only team for the time being, I don't like took on requests by any villagers that they met along their travels, and ended up in the hospital after traversing around the place and finally met Cyrus himself. Cyrus has like he's a cursed child, and he has kind of like a demon inside of him. So like when the team met him, they fought together, and after Cyrus was completely helpless, I guess Astral tried to take his soul. So basically, like tried to kill him, but he can't because Cyrus keep coming back to life.
Like the
He yeah,
like what I feel like this a scenario from something I've watched in the past.
it's kind of a
Oh,
sad.
yeah, like Edge of Tomorrow. Like every time you die, you come back, but you come back like at the exact same time you always wake up, which is like before everything happened.
Or
Hey, that
Groundhog
sounds
Day.
Or Groundhog Day.
that
Yeah, that's so cool.
that, that sounds more like Happy Death Day, you know.
Yeah,
The,
yeah.
the yeah
Happy death.
Oh yeah, that movie.
That
yeah
I
movie.
didn't see it. I just laughed at the title.
uh, oh, it was a really good movie, by the way. Side story, okay. So yeah, he's a cursed child, and he can't die. He always comes back to life. So it's kind of sad, you know. It's one of the reasons why he's in an abandoned hospital in the first place is because even if like imagine it yourself, like being immortal, and imagine having a friends and the friends actually grow up and die of natural causes, but you just stay there, witness as your friend dies. That's gonna be really heartbreaking, you know.
Yeah, there isn't really much point to living if you're gonna live.
That's not really
Death is
yeah
what gives life meaning. That
yeah
is my quote of
that
the day. Quote
Beautifully
Johnny
said.
2018.
Yeah. Quote Johnny
good
2018.
such wiseness much wow.
Oh, yes, much love.
So yeah, he didn't even ask for being immortal too. He just got cursed basically. Yeah, Astra tried to reap his soul, but nothing came out, or maybe like he got the soul in the first place, but it's like zoomed back into Cyrus's body, so he came back to life. But
So he's immune to
uh,
reaping.
yeah, his soul won't come out
Why
basically.
does it
Yeah,
sound like raping? I don't know why.
Oh god.
Your
the
mind is in the
vampire.
gutter, Foxy. That's why.
You dirty fellow. Yeah, so basically, yeah, after Astra reaped the soul and he came back to life, the demon inside of Cyrus got weakened. So Cyrus basically gained a bit of his sense enough to being able to have a normal conversation and explain what happened and such. And after knowing Cyrus' side of story, Astral convinced him to go out and search for a way to help him escape his tortured life, basically. This is kind of like counterintuitive of what Cyrus actually trying to avoid, because he doesn't want any outside connection, being afraid of people of the one he loved die, you know.
Yeah.
But somehow Astral was able to convince him, yeah, and he finally joined the party as the healer themselves, because he's a doctor. He was a kid, a child son. His mother is a priestess, and his father is a specter, like a ghost. So he kind of like half fox, half ghost. That's one of the case. And with him being dead already, like an undead right now, he's literally a ghost already. So like he can like float and such. He can't touch ground at all too. Like he always float. You know,
Yeah.
his feet doesn't touch the ground. Yeah,
So he
and
levitates.
yeah, he will levitate. Yeah,
Levitate,
so
levitate, levitate.
yeah, and in a sense, Cyrus actually died a long time ago, way before maybe way before Astral was even born. So in a sense, Cyrus could actually be much more older than the team itself, but he just stayed the 10-year-old children because he can't age after he died the
Interesting.
first time. He could age like normal people, but because he came back to life, basically from his first death, that basically marks his life already, his age. So he died in the age of 10, and he stays that way.
Okay.
So yeah, he basically spent his entire life just reading about medical stuff and such and learning healing magic. So he knows all those stuff. And yeah, did a lot of surgery and experiment on monster and such. He created a lot of abomination basically.
Ooh. An
Just that people doesn't.
experimenter.
He put them in a secret place inside the hospital, so it doesn't really roam around the place. Maybe like it's too gory, crustaceous, or like super dangerous abomination that
The
aren't supposed to
morbid
see the light.
curiosity of a fucked up
Yeah,
child.
yeah, basically,
Yeet.
yeah. Because come on, he's a child. His brain isn't even mature yet to comprehend all this stuff.
So he
So
sees it in a way, in his way, he kind of sees it as an innocent little gesture, but it's actually all really
yeah,
effed up and
yeah. He
weird.
doesn't know
Yeah.
much about morality, basically. Yeah.
So he sees it
All right.
normal. Yeah.
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 So, oh man, that went way longer than I expected. Okay.
Yeah, this was friend 2 out of 7, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh
god, are we
So,
on that too?
don't worry. Some of this is like really short. So yeah, hopefully.
So much
So the next.
insightfulness.
Oh wow. So the next team member is Selfia, the
Selfie,
rambunctious doggo.
baby!
The doggo himself will be really familiar with this one. Yeah. My one and only, the most pink character in my story. The,
Oh, yes.
yeah, so Selfia is basically a hybrid between Fellingur and a crystal dragon. A Fellingur is kind of like my made up species, I guess, like an ancient feline, way back before the uh, more civilized cat people that they call feline. The ancient one is called Fellinger, so more like monstery, more beast kind of thing, I guess. Like imagine like a Stone Age people. Yeah, I don't know.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's basically ancient cat. Yeah, yeah. So Selphia, a hybrid between Fellinger and Crystal Dragon. So being a beast himself, he doesn't know how to communicate with people. But he's full of affection and love, and
Yeah, he
basically got
is.
attached to the team real quick. And and oh my, what happened?
I know what John meant by that.
And yeah,
Me
and he's
too.
I didn't hear anything. Sorry. And he's a strong fighter too. Like you don't want to mess with him just because he looks so cute and adorable. But yeah, the way the team encountered him was like Fellinger was by nature really cautious of people, so that they tend to run away whenever they meet anything that's not their kind. So basically, the team found her. Maybe she steals something of them because Fellinger is known to be crafty and intelligent creature. So maybe Selphia stole something from the team, and they basically chase him into this into this deeper part of the forest. And yeah, after some catching and stuff, like taming him, I guess, he basically got attached to the team and joined the party. Yeah. Okay. So the next one is the fourth party member. Oh my god, my English. It's called Zera. Supposedly the same species as Selphia. He's that one black kitty with that wears a mask in my drawing, yeah. And he's supposedly the same species as Selphia, but somehow his body evolved into a much more brutal and merciless form, I guess, and much more wild than Selphia himself. You know, having this like hostile personality and a lust for not really blood, but I guess like basically like attacking anything in its point of view. And he also grows have this like a tail beast, you know, like his tail is alive and can eat stuff and such. So it's kind of like two creature in one body, basically. He was caught by the team after the team learned about a rumor of missing people in a secluded village that lives near a dark forest. So like
Spoopy.
yeah, so basically the team traveled into this small village, I guess, and staying there for a few days, and then villagers started making a commotion and such, and the team learned that another people gone missing, and after investigating about it, the village has been having several cases of missing people, and even if they sent a rescue team, even the rescue team got missing. So like they wanted to take the case to their own hand. So like after some traveling and such, they met Zera himself. Basically, the moment Zera saw them, the team, he went on the wild frenzy, I guess, and started like attacking them. So um, after a few fighting and such, the team finally caught him, and basically like I don't know, basically like, dominate Zera, I guess, enough to like tame him. So but still they never really found the missing body. But the thing is, the moment Zera was dominated and joined the team, the missing body cases just stops. The moment Zera joins the party,
Interesting.
yeah.
So there has
And
to be a
they,
link.
there has to be a link there. But the thing is, they never really question it, even though they have an obvious idea of who's responsible for the missing people. They they,
But he's part
they
of the
didn't want,
gang, guys. Now, come on, give him a break.
yeah. But
You're
still,
part of
it's like yeah, but still like trying to hand over a really like hostile creature to a villager that can barely defend for themselves is like wishing death to the entire village, basically. Yeah.
Oh.
So like yeah, in a way they just took over Zera for themselves, and and yeah, basically they just promised the people there won't be any more missing people. They took care of a certain monster that they lied to them, saying that they kill it in the forest. just just go and took a
That's funny in a
random
messed up kind of way.
yeah, maybe like they killed several monster and then asked Cyrus to do a weird surgery on the like chop off a few head of several monster and asked Cyrus to do a surgery on all of those heads to create this weird abomination, and then bringing it back to the village and saying that here, this is the monster that caused the missing body, so yeah, you won't be dealing with that anymore.
Nice cover up.
Yeah. Nice cover up, yeah. They'll never suspect a thing, yeah. Yeah, but one of the reason that Zera was able to join the party in the first place, because he's hostile 24/7 and such. But it's because he kind of like grew a bond with Selphia, because they are like kind of like the same species, and Fellinger is known to be friendly too in their true nature. So like yeah, they kind of have a connection. So Selphia kind of responsible for making Zera much more calm and tamer than usual.
Okay,
So
that's
yeah,
cool. Cat
so
beasts
yeah,
gotta stick together.
yeah. So in a sense of like friendship compatibility, I would say Zera only interacts with Selphia and no one else. So that's the fourth member. Oh my god. Oh, oh my god. Sorry guys.
It's
That's
cool.
all right. It's because I keep interrupting you, so that's slowing it down even more. But yeah, we might have to fast forward this a little bit, Grundy. for the final friends.
Oh, sorry, JG. Yeah,
No,
okay, let's
it's
see.
okay.
Okay, so the fifth member is Fane. Full name. Oh my god, I should have given the full name for the other character too. So like Nathan Grave, Cyrus Melody, Selphia Ricarin, Zera Eclipsia, and Fane, the current one, Fane, full name Fane Ignia Wisp, kind of like a weird name there. So Fane is a mer dragon, kind of like a mermaid and a dragon at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Mer dragon, yeah, and a guardian in a water temple. So basically, the team finally visited the water kingdom, and after traversing in the dungeon, they met Fane himself, that is guarding a precious water crystal. And yeah, kind of like thinking that the team is an intruder, so he basically just fights them immediately. And after after losing to the team, Fane discovered that he's not so powerful after all, and feeling helpless and thinking that he might not be able to defend the crystal after all.
Oh,
And yeah, and decided that by traveling with them, he might be able to grow stronger, so that he can he can return back with a much more better experience, and yeah, much more stronger basically. So
the power of
that's what
friendship.
the power of friendship. Don't mention the pony, okay? that don't.
Oh no, don't worry, I won't.
Yeah, okay, don't worry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth one is Yuki, Avaria Yuki. Yuki means snow, by the way. If anyone knows that, it means snow. So Yuki is a reindeer child that loves to travel and actually leaves home in a young age to work in a mail delivery service.
That's right.
Yeah, so that he's able to meet so many people, and he was basically just in a nearby town, I guess, with the team finally visiting it, just doing his normal delivery job. And I don't know, skip forward, he decided to travel with Astral because he was able to take on more delivery and letter requests from across the region. And it's like a dream come true for him, being able to travel, because he loved to do that. And at the same time, he was able to make people happy too, by delivering all these packages and letter from people that are like in a very secluded place, or like hard to reach places with a lot of monster and such. So it really brings meaning to his life, kind of.
All right.
And by the way, Yuki, Fane, and Cyrus is the only three children in my team. So like they are all children, like small kids.
Ah, okay. And then the rest are like adults.
Yeah, I kind of like. I think I have like two adults. Astral is a teenager. Selphia and Zera, I kind of don't know what their age is. you know, just because unknown.
Yeah.
So okay, the final one, finally, is Zaira. Different than Zera Eclipse. This is Zaira. I don't know. Don't have the full name yet, I think. But anyway, Zaira is like, he's an incubus, like a demon that like a sexual demon, but male.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
The opposite of a succubus.
Mm.
yeah, the opposite of succubus, basically a male.
I have
a
fun with
male
this character
demon.
around Halloween time.
Yeah,
My own
yeah,
witch character.
He.
yeah. Did you mention Renai before?
Renee.
Renee,
Renee?
sorry.
Renee
Yeah, did you
Bay.
mention her?
Did I mention her before?
Yeah,
You didn't.
did you?
I mean, not here because she's not like related to John.
Oh, okay. Oh, no wonder. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Zera is an incubus. I don't know. That a team encountered in a mansion, and he's like way stronger than the team all combined, in a sense. So he basically played with the team the moment they entered the mansion. Like they put 1 feet inside the mansion, and he immediately like detect some intruder and such, like being able to see them using magic and such. And yeah, he basically played with the team, like making them confused or such, making them lost. And when evil screaming in the background, yeah. And then yeah, after they were able to fight with each other, he didn't even really fight seriously. And but at one point he decided to join the travel team because he got bored, basically
He
just
just
sitting
got
around.
bored. That's great.
Yeah, just sitting around an empty mansion. He got bored and everything, and and thinking that by traveling he'll maybe get some fun and such, taking note he's an incubus, so I don't know. Let your imagination
That
play.
kind of fun.
Don't mention it. Okay, so but other than that, he was also interested in the superior dark energy and atmosphere that he senses around astral. So he wanted to learn more about that too. He's kind of
Okay.
like the only team member that actually feel and sense the dark energy around astral. The other team didn't really saw it. So yeah, that's another reason why he wanted to join the team. Kind of like in a sense, like if he was able to learn that unknown dark magic to him, he might be able to like power up, basically being a better leader and
Ooh.
such. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like 7 of my team right there. And there was
There it
only
is,
question.
folks.
There was only question number 2. Oh my god.
You got the
The
whole
other questions are
enchilada.
easy. The other questions are easy.
Yeah. Make it quick, please, please. Okay, so number 3 is what are some of Astral's strength and weakness? His strength. I'll start with strength just because the weakness is gonna counter it back. So Astral's power is basically him being a Reaper apprentice. So he have all this Reaper power, basically like able to conjure up a sight in plain air, in just summon a sight in his hands to kill enemy and such, not needing to carry them around and such. And he
And he
also like,
trained with the Death Man himself, so I mean, he
yeah,
knows this stuff.
he knows the stuff. He learned from the best. Yeah, he also like with the contract, regarding the contract too, because he lost control because he had this problem with split personality. Basically, his soul split into five different souls. It's the same person too, just 5 different souls based on personality. uh, After the contract was established, so he have the he used to be, I should have said this before, but the moment he was born he was pure white, no marking, no anything, just white eyes, white body, white hair and everything. And then after the contract, when the Reaper himself split his soul into 5, he finally got the color. So the current one, the one that everyone sees, is the normal one, where he's most comfortable with, turquoise color. So he finally got marking and such too. Yeah, so he got the turquoise color, which is just him in a normal sense, like a normal person. And then he have a red one, that is basically like a psycho part of him, where he's like bloodthirsty and such, and always curious about what happens if he kills a person and such, like wanting to know the the feeling, the adrenaline that you get when you kill people and such, like, and yeah,
The part of
feeling the
him that
blood.
goes to bestgore.com.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, basically, yeah,
He's like, I gotta find my happy place. Start just chopping limbs off.
chopping limbs. Oh my god, like Happy Tree Friend all over again.
Jeez.
And and yeah, that's the red one, and then there's a blue one where he's like sorrow, always sad, like always crying, feeling like under the weather and such, like can't help but crying and such,
Uh,
being scared of everything. And then there's a yellow one where he's like calm and serene, protective part of him, kind of like a will of his mother, basically. So he kind of like wills a part of his mother's protective side in that form. And then the final one is a black colored one, where he's basically merciless, evil, and such.
That's my
And yeah,
favorite, like, visual design of. That's like my favorite. Not my favorite form in terms of
I
personality, but just favorite design that you've made for Astral.
are you talking about the one where he has white hair, white everything, and then the black clothing?
Yeah.
No, that's a different alternate path actually. That's a different
What?
one.
Oh,
That yeah, that I was talking about more of his body color, turquoise, red, blue, yellow,
okay.
and
Gotcha.
black. So his body marking, his eye color, his hair became black in the final one. The
Okay.
one you mentioned, the one you mentioned just now, Johnny, is a different path basically.
Okay.
I yeah.
Gotcha.
If I'm gonna try and simplify it, it's just like he gains all those 5 soul when he took the contract, and the one that you mentioned just now is like him denying, like refusing the contract. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. So
Denied.
anyway, yeah. So he can change. He can't really control all of the souls, but at one point of the story, he basically being able to he like travel to learn to control all of his souls too. So like yeah, being able to control it one by one, and then changing souls from souls, and then using all of their power, individual powers. So yeah, that's basically his strength. Yeah, he kind of like badass in a way. I don't want to make him OP. Just saying. That's where the weakness came. So yeah, his weakness is like he's basically super weak.
Yeah.
Like really, like you can he's like
His weakness is he's physically weak.
yeah, kind of like, and he doesn't really have full control of his souls too. Like he can't become the other souls for too long, or he might
Gotcha.
like maybe damage himself or such, or maybe yeah, you basically lose control. He's super weak too. Like the only thing that's strong about him is just his mediocre strength and and fast speed, I guess, because he's a lynx. He can traverse a few miles in just a few footing. But yeah, but he's super
Natural link
weak.
speed.
He's super weak in terms of HP and defense, I guess. Like someone can literally like hammer him, like maybe like a giant mallet, and like hammer him, and he'll fly across the place, and like maybe having some difficulty getting up back. Basically, yeah, he's super weak.
Medic. Cyrus, help
Yeah.
me.
Oh my god. So yeah, that's about it, I guess. I think that's about it for now.
All right.
So the last one? What is Astral's goal in life? He basically want to travel around, becoming the best reaper in the world after his stepfather, following his stepfather footsteps. Wow, and kind of like because of the dream, trying to find out his true identity. What's the meaning of the dream and everything. So like thinking that he might actually have a real family, a real living family and such. Like that's one of his life goal. Just traveling, becoming the best reaper, and learning about his true self. So yeah,
That's his goal.
that's about it. Yeah, that's his goal.
All
Yeah.
right. Cool. Yay! Let's
Well,
give it up
thanks,
for
Grandy.
Grandy.
That
Oh my
was
god.
really awesome. Like, to tell you the truth, like, I know you've written all of this stuff about your characters, but I've kind of, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really like kept that in my memory. So hearing you talk
No, don't
about
worry.
it, hearing you talk about it was really informative and awesome.
Oh, thank you.
All
So
right,
yeah, I
did
guess,
you find your file?
Yeah, it's right here already.
I'm sorry it took a while.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about. It's funny because you've basically talked about your personas who also happen to be part of stories. I don't
Yeah.
have a character like that. I don't have anyone that represents me. Um,
Ah,
so I'm just gonna talk about the main character of my current story, which is Luminia. She's
Lumina.
Lumina.
Luminia. Oh.
Luminia. Sorry,
Luminia.
Steve.
Luminia. Oh, okay.
So, she is a human. Oh my god, a human.
Oh my god.
Oh, who, man? What is this?
Okay, let's see her backstory. Right. What is her backstory? What led up to the present day? Honestly, her story is kind of boring because
Don't worry about it.
I'm actually thinking if I should just spoil it here. Because I planned it to be revealed really early in the story, but Fuck it. Okay, let's do it. So actually, she's an orphan. She
Ooh.
was left as a baby in front of someone's house, and the only thing they knew about the baby was her name. So she was raised by a foster family, and later that family had a baby of their own, which is her sister Kira. And later, as they grew, Luminia noticed that she had was able to use magic, so she got sent to a mage school to learn how to control magic and that kind of thing. Years later, she graduated and she returns to her homeland so she can meet her first sister and they can finally go on adventures that they always dreamed of when they were kids.
Sounds cool.
No.
So, an interesting thing about the as I said, she was an orphan. She is not going on an adventure to find her real parents. Actually, she has kind of no interest in finding out about that. She's like, oh, if I find them, okay, that's cool.
So I don't care anymore. They never cared about me in the first place. So yeah, I don't want to care about them.
Well, I mean, she also doesn't think it like that. She like they had their reasons, whatever those
Yeah.
reasons were. She doesn't really resent them, since she never knew them in the first place. So technically, she doesn't really know anything about them. So she kind of has like no right to hate them.
Does
Yeah,
does
makes
she
sense.
know?
Yeah, whether I find
Yeah.
them or not, it's not gonna really
Yeah.
impact my life too much.
Yeah,
So yeah, she.
does
Hey,
does she knows that she's an orphan though?
yeah, she knows.
Oh, she knows. Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
I kind of want to make a joke about that in the comic, like Kira's parents being their biological parents. She looks like her parents. Like they're both blonde, but Lumina has green hair. So sometime on their childhood, she is gonna be curious about it. Like, why do I have green hair and you're all blonde?
Oh,
So next
that does
question.
make sense.
I'm
That does
sorry if
make
I'm being
sense,
a little
though.
too quiet right now because I'm actually like the tiredness is literally getting to me right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can
no.
imagine.
Just
Just hold on a little
little bit.
longer, man.
All right, just a little longer. I got this.
Just a little bit.
Oof.
Yeah, yeah.
Just gotta,
Don't
You
worry.
got this, man. You got this.
just gotta slam myself in consciousness. All right. All right. Continue.
Okay. Oh, friends. First, we have Kira, which is her sister. So they have a good relationship. They are like friendly siblings. They do a lot of stuff together. And when Lumina had to go to the maid school, they kept exchanging letters, like
Ooh.
Lumina telling her about the things she's been learning, Kira telling about the things in the city, how things are, and both still planning stuff for when they finally meet again, so they can go on adventures.
Basically, like preparing yourself before the grand adventure, I guess.
Yeah, something like that. Actually, I should say, Lumina is learning about magic stuff on her school. In the meantime, Kira's parents were adventurers, so they're teaching her about adventuring and fighting stuff.
Ooh. Okay. So
Next, we have Layla. Layla is a friend that Lumina made when she was returning home. She was on her way back home. She stumbled on a small city, and I'm still thinking of specifics, but they're gonna have some. She's gonna have some kind of quest where Layla is involved with the city somehow, and Lumina helps them all. after the quest is done, the people in the city tell Layla to go out with Luminia. So Layla is a mostly shy girl, and it's basically it's how do I say this? She's the help. She's the support of the group in many ways. Like she has holy powers. She can heal people, that kind of thing. The basic support role on a group.
I love
But she's just
supporters.
Yeah, me too.
They're so underrated, in my opinion. Like they're just there for support, and they don't really like have the big guns to take down enemies. But like they're always
No,
there to help
yeah,
support you, because they're supporters. They always come and
uh-huh.
heal you if necessary. They'll hold stuff for you. They're always
Yeah.
like they're underappreciated sometimes. I feel, and they're really cool. Like in my opinion, they're really cool people, or like they're really cool roles played by really
Mhm.
cool characters and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I actually like playing support roles a lot more than offensive roles. If I can play a support role, I try to search for defensive roles, which is the closest thing.
Ah,
Like a tank.
Mm. So so yes, she's a support, but at the same time, she's just really supportive in general as a person. She likes to help people. She tries to do whatever she can, that kind of thing. And finally, we have the two other members of the group, which I think you know, which is Rika and Felixa.
Rika,
Yeah.
kitty
I'm
kitty,
looking at it right now. Yeah.
kitty kitty.
the cat girls.
Now, actually, Luminia, I'm telling this from beginning of the story perspective. So actually, Kira is the one that knows them both. Luminia is only going to meet them right when she meets Kira. So Luminia doesn't know anything about them both.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it's that kind of thing. Like, oh, my sister knows you, you're friends. Oh, cool, nice. You're nice people then.
I like you. You're good. You're nice people.
Like, the
Yeah,
kid she is. Yeah.
at least at first. There's gonna be some problems later about that, but story stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's also like the
There-
the wanting to like eventually go around and fix things or tweaks things in the story.
Yeah, there's gotta be conflict
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. Eventually.
Wait, what about
Number
what
two.
about the relationship that Luminia has with the cat girls? Like, I want to hear about that.
Ooh, yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, you okay.
Yeah.
Lumina doesn't
I
know them both. Kira
Doesn't-
does.
Kira knows them. Okay, gotcha.
So
So-
that what question was that?
Number
Number
two?
two.
Oh, okay.
And for now, that's all, because that's at the beginning of the story. That's everyone should know. So, Next
Question number
question.
2 or 3, my bad.
strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lamia is actually really determined to do whatever she wants. She's very confident, and she, like, even when they're in deep trouble, like life or death situations, even she's always very confident that there's a way out somehow. She never gets desperate in these even in these kinds of business situations.
Ooh, that's super calm and such.
Ooh.
Now, weaknesses. She's always looking for adventure, and that can be a real problem sometimes, because she likes adventure, and that kind of implies that she likes danger. So
Oh,
she
wow.
always goes for the most dangerous paths possible.
Ooh, a thrill seeker.
Oh, like a reckless girl. Yeah.
Hmm. So that ends up getting them into real trouble a lot of the time.
Oh.
And even
Oh,
then, she
wow.
tends to not really take danger seriously until it's too late. Like, she tries to see the fun, the danger, and then the danger gets too dangerous, and that's when she has to get serious. Yeah, For now, that's about it on strengths and weaknesses. So, number 4, what's her goal in life? She actually has no long term goal. She just wants to travel, to find new places, find new adventures.
Living in the moment.
Yeah, basically that. She doesn't really think of an end to her adventures. She just wants to go out and have fun out in the world.
Basically, like a traveler then.
Yeah, that's what she does. She's adventure traveler.
Does she do
She
Adrenaline
goes out.
junkie.
does she do like jobs for people along the way?
Yeah, I kind of want to have some sort of quests for them to do somewhat.
Ooh, okay. So it's
Find
sort of like a
people and
traveling vagabond.
Oh wow.
Not exactly in that term. I don't want to use that term, but yeah,
Okay.
I guess so.
it's a basic RPG world where they live.
Yeah, it is. It is. It
So
really does sound like our RPG. Yeah.
so yeah, it's gonna have quests. It's gonna have monsters and all that kind of RPG fantasy thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to have them saving the world and that kind of thing. I just want
I
them
see.
to have to go out in their adventures, do their own thing.
As long as
Nothing
it's
really.
dangerous and fun, that's where Lumina will be.
Yeah, I don't really want them to be like heroes and that kind of thing. It doesn't fit them, I'd say.
You just want to keep the good times rolling.
hmm Actually, that's I don't really want to have like you all have stories for them where there's like a fixed objective and end and that kind of thing. I just
Just
want
ongoing.
to have yeah an open world where I can have anything I want to have and do story draw stories, write stories without caring much about rules and that kind of thing.
Today's adventure. Blah blah blah.
On today's episode.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
fun.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Watching an episode. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's all for now. That's
Alright.
all for them for Luminia.
All right, let's give it for Jay. All
It
right.
really does sound like an RPG game. I kind of want to play it now.
we're all like
Wow.
aiming to do something game wise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to develop some game at some time. So
That's-
who knows?
That's
I want to
my.
teach. I want to teach you all to make games somehow. I don't know.
Please teach me, Sensei Doggy.
Yeah.
I wanna.
So,
The thing is, I only
Sensei
know
Doggy.
Game Maker Studio, and I don't even really know all there is to know about it.
ooh,
So
you should go
Yeah,
for more stuff
that-
like Unity or even.
I want to learn Unity, but for that I have to really learn coding language. Like I have to learn
Yep, that's me.
Java and
That's
stuff.
where I come in. That's what I'm learning. So I
Yeah.
can help you with that eventually.
Okay. Foximity is the new sensei.
Well,
It's better. It's
I
better
can
than
also help.
nothing.
I'm graduated in IT, so
You did?
Damn.
Ooh,
mhm.
nice. Well,
Let's all learn coding, guys. Let's
Yeah.
all do it.
so we can all do our own thing. All right.
Sonoda sends his love. Seattle. He couldn't
Yeah.
be here
Couldn't
today.
be here
Sonoda,
for certain reasons.
He had to hang out with his family. What
Yeah.
right?
What a loser. No, I'm joking.
Hey, how dare you?
So yeah, too bad Sonora couldn't be here today, but maybe he'll be in the next one. Who knows? I think that just about wraps it up for today. We had a nice little podcast about ROC's background story and stuff. So I hope you viewers listening to this or watching this enjoyed our little discussion on OC backstories. And yeah, I think that that's our episode. That should be a wrap. This is
Check out our links in the description.
Yep. If you'd like to send us anything, make sure to message us, email, any requests or
Give us
Like-
lots of faves, people.
Yeah.
Lots of faves.
We deserve them. I'm joking.
I'm just joking.
Kind of joking, kind of.
Kind of like, I'm joking, but feel free to do so anyways. Like mind games. Yeah, but thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in. If you've listened to the very end, consider yourself congratulated by us because we can be boring at times.
What? Bullshit.
Bullshit, yeah.
Most entertaining guys
I
you've
beg to
ever-
differ, but I bet people would think otherwise, so let's try to be
Yeah,
optimistic
I
about
guess
things.
I hope you guys like it. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Alright.
Don't expect much.
Yeah. On behalf of the AnthroMythics podcast, this has been
Episode 3.
episode 3, yeah. Thank you for tuning in to the AnthroMythics podcast. Blech. This has been our episode 3. I am Foximity.
I am Grandy.
I am Johnny.
I'm JG.
Thank you for tuning in. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. See ya.
Did you stop the recording?